And this is going to be a lengthy video, but it will help you to see the promises that Yahuah has for his people and how he is orchestrating everything that is going on, down to CPS, down to these corrupt judges, magistrates, attorneys, down to these police that come in to assist, down to the evaluators and everyone else involved, the foster parents and all these other people who are blind to what is going on. And I have to say that there are people in the system that Yahuah will use and who will turn from their wicked ways, and praise Yahuah for that. But there are many, most will continue to carry out these types of crimes against humanity, and they will do so without even blinking an eye. They will go home and sleep at night, and that is due to them removing their cognitive dissonance, because that is what this wicked system is teaching people to do, so that there's not a conflict between a person's beliefs and actions. It comes down to that, and Yahuah knows who's got a wicked heart and who doesn't, and he's going to use people according to the way that he created them to be, because he knew us all before we were formed, even in our mother's wombs. And he is going to bless his people using these wicked to turn them back to him. And that is what it's about. It's about waking up Yahuah's people, coming out of the lies, and walking in his ways.
Is an OPC to be obtained for women. The children were deemed unsafe at that time because y'all weren't allowed to come in and do an investigation. Able to do a thorough assessment. So, which means y'all have no proof to say my kids are in danger anyway. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. And I haven't been charged of a crime. And you're not. This is not criminal. I'm not a police officer. So y'all have no right to have my kids right now. Y'all criminally violating my rights. No, you listen. If you feel like you're right certified or being I am. I'm going to do all of that. Exactly. What is your name? Pursue it to the fullest. What is your name? Let me finish this. Yeah, but what's your name first? My name is Miss Latif. Miss Latif. Okay. You feel as though you're being violated, and pursue it to the fullest. But this is what I'm saying to you. At this point, a legal OPC was obtained, which y'all said y'all had a warrant. Y'all broke down someone else's door. Y'all broke down all the doors. And that was someone else's property. I don't know. Okay? So y'all violated on that level. And you seen that you never said y'all had a warrant? I never said that. I can say I never said those words out of my mouth. Never. That y'all had a warrant? Never. And I'm telling you. So you telling me y'all didn't have a warrant, y'all just had an OPC? No. There was a knockdown order. You never. What is a knockdown order? Is that a warrant? No, to knock down your door to go in. But is that a warrant? Listen, you talking legal. I don't know anything, but you never heard me say that. That's why I'm saying y'all violating my rights. Listen, but you're saying y'all. You're talking two different entities. You have I'm saying CPS, who has my children now, who came in my property without my consent, without a warrant, and I'm saying the police who knocked down the door without a warrant and without consent. Both of y'all entities have violated my rights. And y'all have my kids, and I'm asking to see my kids right now. I want to see my kids right now. That's the part I need you to understand. That the judge ordered it. Nobody wanted to knock down anything. The judge can't order a warrant or OPC unless it's imminent danger or imminent risk. What imminent danger or risk were my kids in? The children were deemed unsafe. They felt like you fled with the children. I don't care what they felt like. I ain't flee. How I'ma flee with my kids? And I got full custody. We got custody of my kids, and we never lost no parental rights or custody or anything. How I flee with my kids, my own kids? Who has the right to tell me I can't go anywhere with my kids? How did it happen? Is what I want to know, and I want to see my kids. I want to see my kids. Y'all don't have the right to refuse me. I have rights. I have parental rights and custody over my kids right now. I don't care what y'all OPC did because it was obtained illegally because y'all did not have the right. There was no extreme emergency. Y'all didn't even do an investigation to deem anything unsafe to obtain the OPC.
I can't attest to anything before today. What I can say is what I read on that court order was for OPC to be obtained.
Why did y'all obtain the OPC?
The judge ordered it.
Why did he order it?
Because the children were deemed unsafe.
Why were they deemed unsafe?
I can't answer that for you.
You just said earlier because we didn't allow y'all to do an investigation.
I'm explaining to you as far as I know what happened. This is what I'm trying
Right,
to
so what happened?
I can't explain all of that to you because this is not my case.
What? It's not your case, so why are you in here talking to me if this is not your case? Who am I supposed to be speaking to? Who is in charge of the case? Let me speak to them. What? I need to speak with whoever is in charge of the case. I need to speak with his supervisor.
She was just here.
Okay, I need to speak with her supervisor. Who's her? What's her name? And I need to speak with her supervisor. And I'm not leaving here until I do. When I'm waiting for the police in the process. I need to speak with the supervisor. Now, not later. Y'all have my children. I will die for my children. You don't understand. My kids are well taken care of. They're well loved. And y'all have no right to have them. I want to see a supervisor right now.
I'm going to go ahead. You know, I tried to come down here so I can try to talk to you, but you're very
Because you said it's not your case. So why are you talking to me? How are you going to talk to me about a case that's not yours?
Because I was your assistant today.
And you shouldn't have been because that wasn't your case.
No, if my coworkers need assistance, I'm assistant.
But I haven't seen the person that's assigned to the case yet. I haven't spoken with him.
He was there.
But what conversation, what communication? I need to speak with his supervisor.
I don't know what conversation y'all had.
I need to speak with his supervisor. Can I speak with the supervisor? Can I just speak with a supervisor and can I see my kids? Am I being refused the right to see my kids right now?
At this point, there is no city, so therefore you can.
But where does the OPC say that I can't say? I'm supervised right now. I'm in y'all place. So we supervise. We in front of people that's protecting. So
Is it people?
It is.
It's an order of
Say
protection.
that.
It said that you cannot see those children.
show me where the paper say that at.
Hopefully he'll become.
I need that paperwork. I need that paperwork right now. Because if it don't say on the paperwork that I can't see my kids on the paperwork, I'm going to need to see my kids. All right? Is that fair enough? Now, can I speak to the supervisor right now? You don't think. Can you go and ask? I ain't talking about her. I'm talking about her supervisor. I'm talking about the director. I want to speak to the director. That's who I need to speak with. And I have every right to because y'all have something that belongs to me. Y'all took my property. Y'all trespassed on my property. Y'all illegally broke into my property. Y'all had no right. I don't have no criminal charges against me. Y'all had no warrant or nothing. Please, let me speak to the director.
No, the cops out there for her.
Can I speak with the director, please?
You can go to the front desk.
Okay, I'll go to the front desk.
So I just wanted to come on here and speak my mind after watching all of these videos. I become so angry when I watch these types of crimes being committed and the ignorance that people have to what is actually going on. There is a wicked system in place that is perpetuating these types of crimes against humanity and the continued ignorance of the public as to what's going on. Late Congresswoman Nancy Schaefer spoke out, and she was murdered because of her voice for families and children and trying to expose who in seats of power are involved in these types of criminal activities. This is a cartel. It is tightly knitted together, and there are many players involved. It's multifaceted. They do have a multidisciplinary team in place. People are making their living off of this. So those are just my feelings after having my own family being completely torn apart. But then I have to remember that Yahuah is truly working in this, and he is in control, and he is telling us to speak out and to expose the wicked. Even though he is raising them up to bring about his purposes, it does not mean that what they're doing is not wicked. He uses them because they are wicked, and they will reap what they have sown. And they don't see it coming. They don't even know what they're doing is wicked. That is how delusional these people are. And basically, the masses that are sitting back and watching the news and being spoon-fed lies, they just are part of the problem, not the solution. Yahuah is working things out, and he is using them. And so when we expose, we are to warn the people of Yahuah as to what is going on, and we are to bear witness against these wicked, because Yahuah has made it very clear that everyone will know who he is, that he is the one and only Achad Yahuah. And there will come a day when every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess that he is the one and only Alahym. This is about more than just becoming knowledgeable about the wicked ways of this world, and knowing how to wisely navigate through this wicked system, because we do have to be wise and learn how to fight in truth. It is about Yahuah and if he is on your side or not. And he has told his people what they need to do in order for him to be on their side. So that is where I want to continue to focus. I want to go to a video right now by Mikhail, and it's actually about the awakening and the plagues that are coming, the judgment that's coming. And in this part of the video, he speaks about Yeshayahu, or Isaiah 45, and the role of the wicked, going more into what it is that Yahuah is doing, how he is raising up the wicked, and doing so for his people. He has not forsaken his people. He is there, and he has promised that he will see his people through, and that the wicked will be destroyed. So we can praise him for that. All of the videos that I use, I will leave links to in the description boxes, and I really do encourage you to go back and to watch, because just like in going over Dabari or Deuteronomy 28, each of Yahuwah's servants has so much information packed into their videos that they put together, and I want to give credit first to Yahuah. All praises, esteem, and honor to him for his servants coming forth and putting in the effort and the time to share this information with Yahuwah's people. So I just encourage you to watch those videos, because each one will provide different types of information to wake you up to the truth, so that you can continue to research on your own and to learn about who you are in Yahuah and who he is.
Let's go over to Yeshayahu, which is Isaiah chapter 45. What is the purpose of the wicked? Now, we're not talking about David Koresh here. Yahuah don't even know Koresh. Okay, that's not the name of the king that is mentioned here. I'm not going to dig into the whole Abari thing today, but this ain't talking about David Koresh from down there in Texas, where the FBI stormed his compound and burned the people alive some years back.
So Koresh ain't even found in the text, but this is the corruption of translation, right? This is the corruption of our language, right? This is Yiddish, you see, and that's the other thing that our people must take seriously, you see, is our language. I see people out there teaching, so they're teaching our language, but they're feeding our people Yiddish filth, you see. Yahuah wants us to get back to what's real. Get back to what's true. So we've got to stop holding on to what the oppressor has given us, fed us. We've got to stop defending the oppressor and his lies. And many of our people are sold out on defending the oppressor. Okay? Now, I'm going to come back to that in defense of the oppressor in a little bit. I'm going to come back to that point. But let's go over to Yeshayahu, chapter 45. That's right. Let it go. Yeshayahu, chapter 45. Now, this says Yahuah to his anointed, to Karash, whose right hand I have grasped, to subdue nations before him, and ungird the loins of kings, to open before him the double doors, so that gates are not shut. Now, who is Karash? Is he a man or king of Yasharal? Karash. Is he a man or king of Yasharal? This is a question to you, family. Who is this one that Yahuah speaks of here in verse 1 of Yeshayahu? Anyone recall? You've read this before. Tada Aki Kenan, Tada Aki, the king of Persia. The king of Persia. Yahuah calls him his anointed. Okay? Was he set apart in the sense of being set apart for the kingdom of Yahuah? No. There's something that we have to understand about being set apart also. You see, Yahuah set people apart in different ways and for different people. You see, Yahuah sets people apart in different ways and for different purposes, different reasons. So our oppressor is anointed, set apart by Yahuah for a purpose. Doesn't mean that he is set apart for the kingdom, you see. But he is set apart for a purpose. Can't nobody touch him. Can't nobody topple him because Yahuah has set him up for a purpose, you see. So here we see a king, a wicked king, anointed by Yahuah for a purpose. He called him his servant. Thus said Yahuah to his anointed, to Karash, whose right hand I have grasped, to subdue nations before him, and ungird the loins of kings, to open before him the double doors, so that gates are not shut. I go before you and make the crooked places straight. I shatter the gates of bronze and cut down the bars of iron. I shall give you the treasures of darkness and hoarded wealth of secret places, so that you know that I, Yahuah, who are calling you by your name, am the Alahym of Yasharal. Here it is, Yahuah is making himself known to a wicked king. Question is, will the wicked king repent? And is his purpose in making himself known to this wicked king a sign of salvation for the king? No, it's not a sign of salvation for this stranger. It's not a sign of salvation for this heathen, but Yahuah will be known to all peoples and all nations. You see? Yahuah will be known to all people and all nations. There will not be a single man on the face of the earth. There will not be a single woman on the face of the planet who can say that they did not know Yahuah and know of his expectations. And so Yahuah makes himself known. because he is set apart for the kingdom, but because he is set apart for judgment and to be judged. We have to be careful that we do not, simply because America have been set apart by Yahuah for judgment on his people and for judgment on other wicked nations, we have to be careful that we do not now begin to praise America because we see America prospering for a season. Because America is the wicked. And the scripture says, for example, in the book of Alahym, chapter 37, says, fret not yourself because of evildoers, because in the morning they spring up and they're as green grass, but in the evening they wither and are cut down and thrown into the fire. And so simply because you see the wicked prospering right now, it's not reason to side with the wicked or even to praise the wicked. One might say, oh, but Yahuah raised them up to correct us. Yeah, still no reason to praise or speak well of her. So, as Achad just says, you can look at Donald Trump. Yahuah raised him up to put on the surface what a lot of our people were convinced no longer existed. Yahuah raised them up to bring out the evil in the heart of a nation. You see. Now, think about it. If Yahuah had not raised Donald Trump up, yeah, he got a lot of money. But as stupid as he talked, for the most part, how else would he be raised up? Unless he was going to pay his way through. And he certainly did have not done so. You see. Now, let's go back to the text, right? So now, and I shall give you, this is Yahuah speaking to Koresh, the king of Persia, and I shall give you the treasures of darkness and hoarded wealth of secret places, so that you know that I Yahuah, who are calling you by your name, am the Alahym of Yasharal, so that you may know that I am the Alahym of Yasharal. For the sake of Yahuah my servant. You see, this is why Yahuah anoints the wicked. This is why Yahuah raises up the wicked. For the sake of Yahuah my servant, and of Yasharal my chosen, I also call you by your name. I give you a title, though you have not known me. I give you a title, though you have not known me. I am Yahuah, and there is none else. I am Yahuah, and there is none else. So forget the Trinity. Forget duality. Forget anything that says that there's another mighty one other than Yahuah. Forget any doctrine, any teaching. Forget anyone that tells you that we serve more than one Alahym. If you say that the Son, which is actually just, we use the terminology Son in terms of Mashiach because of Christian indoctrination. But if we say that Yahusha is any other than Yahuah himself, Yahuah responds, he says, there is no Alahym beside me. There is no mighty one beside me. If Yahusha is an Alahym different from Yahuah, and indeed he would have to be an Alahym if we are going to credit him for our deliverance. If we're going to credit him for our redemption, he would have to be an Alahym. And if he is an Alahym different from Yahuah, then what we're saying is we serve two Alahym, or three Alahym, or however many Alahym. And this is Yahuah's response to that. I am Yahuah, and there is none else. There is no Alahym beside me. Everybody comprehend? No, right? There is no Alahym beside me. It is I, Yahuwah, that gird you, though you have not known me, he says to this wicked Karash, so that they know from the rising of the sun to its setting that there is none but me. I am Yahuwah, and there is none else. How many times did Yahuwah say that, dear family? And how many times is going to say it throughout the scriptures? And yet our people continue to believe in idolatry. When we proclaim these truths, they call us idolatrous. This is why our people continue to suffer, because in spite of the fact that the truth is right in our faces, in spite of the fact that Yahuwah continued to proclaim it time and time and time again, in spite of the fact that he continued to send the message, in spite of the fact that he continued to send the warning, our people remain stiff-necked. That's why our name is Yasharah, because we're stiff-necked. We're a stubborn people. We're a hard people. You see. And so, he says, I am Yahuwah, and there is none else. There is no Alahym besides me. I gird you, though you have not known me, so that they know from the rising of the sun to its setting that there is none but me. I am Yahuwah, and there is none else. Forming light. I am the one who forms light. You go to the book of Colossians, it says Yahusha created light. He created the heavens. He created Shamayim. He created Arats. It says that Yahusha created all things. And yet in other places it says Yahuwah create all things. Is this a contradiction? Or does that in itself tell us that the one creator is Yahuwah, Yahusha? That Yahusha is no other than Yahuwah himself. Yahuwah is no other than Yahusha. Yahu, the forever existent one, is no other than Yahu, our salvation, the same that delivers. The one that has always existed is the same that has always delivered his people. So that they know from the rising of the sun to its setting that there is none but me. I am Yahuwah and there is none else. Forming light and creating darkness. Making peace and creating evil. Making peace and creating evil. I, Yahuwah, do all these things. Rain down, O Shamayim, from above, and let clouds pour down righteousness, set apartness. Let the earth open, let them bring forth deliverance, and let righteousness spring up together. I, Yahuwah, have created it. I want to stop here for a second, because if we're not careful, some people will say, well, why talk about the wickedness that the wicked does when Yahuwah says that it is he that form light and create darkness, make peace and create evil? I, Yahuwah, do all these things. So why speak about evil? Yahuwah didn't say, don't speak about evil, even though he created, even though he sends it, even though he raises up the wicked. He didn't tell us not to speak out against the wicked. He told us the opposite. He said, cry out against them, you see, and warn my people. That's our responsibility. Bear witness against them, so that they may know that I am Yahuwah, the Alahym of Yasharah. So Yahuwah says, it is I that do all these things. Woe to him who strives with his master, a potsherd with the potsherds of the earth. Does clay say to him who forms it, what are you making? Or your handiwork say, he has no hands? Woe to him who says to his father, what are you bringing forth? Or to the woman, what are you laboring over? Thus said Yahuwah, the set apart one of Yasharah and his maker. Did he say, and one of his maker? No. Thus said Yahuwah, the set apart one of Yasharah and his maker. Do you ask me about my sons, what is to come? And about the work of my hands, do you command me? I have made the earth and created man on it. I, my hands, not our hands. My hands have stretched out Shamayim, and all their host I have commanded. I have stirred him up in righteousness, and all in his ways I make straight. He builds my city and lets my exiles go. He builds my city. Who is going to build the city? Who is going to rebuild our land? Who is going to build the city and then release the slaves, release the exiles? Who is going to do it according to the scriptures? The wicked. Did you read it right there, family? Let me get this out the way. Yahuah says, I have stirred him up in righteousness, the wicked, talking about the oppressor. I have stirred him up in righteousness, and all his ways I make straight. Yup. What he's saying is all of his doings are orchestrated by me, and all his ways I make straight. He builds my city and lets my exiles go, not for price nor reward. Remember, the scriptures tells us that the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the just, not in the way that the Christians use it, not with these pastors when they're trying to pimp you out of your money. They sit there and twist Yahuwah's word and give you feel-good messages. Sow your seed today of $59.95, because by tomorrow this time the wicked is going to pour into your bosom, because the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. Not in that way. That's a misuse of the scriptures. When Yahuwah tells us that the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the just, he is talking about the restoration of his people. He's talking about the restoration of his nation. He is saying that he's going to use the wicked who have robbed and pillaged his people, that the wealth that they have stolen from us will be poured back into us, will be poured into our land. Not because they're receiving any reward, but because Yahuwah has commanded it to be so. I have stirred him up in righteousness, and all his ways I make straight. He builds my city and lets my exiles go, not for price nor reward, declares Yahuwah of hosts. Thus said Yahuwah, the labor of Matzrayim, the labor of our bondage, and merchandise of Cush, and the Sabate men of size come over to you, and they say, and they are yours. Yes, I'm going to turn them over to you. They walk behind you. They come over in chains, and they bow down to you. They make supplication to you, saying, indeed, Allah is in you, and there is none else, no mighty one. You hear what the wicked will do? You hear what Yahuwah will cause the wicked to do concerning his people? That they will walk behind you. No longer with a whip whipping you. No longer with you walking ahead of them in chains, but they will walk behind you as slaves. They will walk behind you. How will they walk behind you? Let me read it again. Thus said Yahuwah, the labor of Matzrayim and merchandise of Cush and the Sabate men, great men, men of size, come over to you. Men who you once saw as undefeatable. Men who you once saw as unconquerable, that they will come over to you, and they are yours. I will give them into your hands. They walk behind you because they're not worthy of walking beside you. They're not worthy of walking with you. They walk behind you. They come over in chains, and they bow down to you. They make supplication, they beg you, saying, indeed, Allah is in you, and there is none else, there is none else, there is no mighty one, no other mighty one but him. Truly, you are all who hide yourself. Ho, Alahym, Yasharal of Yasharal, Savior. Who is our Savior? Yahuwah. They shall be put to shame. They shall be put to shame and even be humiliated, all of them. The makers of idols shall go away together in humiliation. Yasharal shall be saved by who? By Yahuwah. with an everlasting deliverance. You are not to be ashamed nor hurt forever and ever. This thing that you're going through right now, it's not going to last forever, Yasharal. It's not going to last forever. What you're going through right now is not going to last forever. It might feel as if there is no end to it. And we cry out to Yahuah, how long, Yahuah? How long? But it's only temporary. This is not going to last forever. It might feel like it when you're in the midst of it. But before you know it, it will be over. It will be over. It is not to be forever and ever. For thus said Yahuah, creator of Shamayim. He is Alahym, former of earth and its maker. He established it. He established it. He did not create it to be empty. He formed it to be inhabited. I am Yahuah, and there is none else.
All praises, honor, and esteem to the Most High Yahuah, the one and only Alahym. For he is raising up, anointing the wicked for his purposes, for the sake of Yaakov his servant, and Yasharel his chosen. He will see his people through. He has not forsaken you. Now I am going to end here. We will pick up in part 2, and I will continue with Mikael's study on looking at the role of the wicked. Before I end, I'm going to play another video clip by Mrs. S. demonstrating, revealing, showing, bearing witness against these wicked and their evil, wicked deeds that they are continuing to perpetuate, so that we can warn Yahuwah's people of what's going on and stand up and have a voice. I thank you so much for watching and for sharing. And may Yahuwah barak you and continue to grow you in his truth. Shalom.
Darren Wiggs Hughes. Nobody had the right. My heaven. Hey, baby. She's not acting normal. What did they give my baby? If my baby had any type of vaccination, I have a vaccine exemption. They are not supposed to get vaccination. It's against my religious, moral, and health. He had an allergic reaction. I never vaccinated my kids again at vaccinated them. It's too much going on. She better not have had no vaccination, because when I find out, everybody that has anything to do with it is going to be held accountable. And I mean it. I'm going to sue everybody that had anything to do with it.
Did they have people sign refusing for the children that have vaccination?
They did a first investigation with a court, and court already had on their records. That was less than a month before they tried to come out and do this investigation. They kicked in our door without completing the investigation, no warrant or nothing, and took our kids. She never had a vaccine in her life. I will find out if there's any kind of vaccinations in her system, because she never had them from birth. I will know. And they cut my son here. This is unacceptable. Like, if y'all had kids, y'all would understand. This is not okay.
I mean, no, I was
like, this is not all right. Like, somebody has to say that. If y'all have any love for kids, your own children, or your freedom, or anything, somebody has to say something and do something about this.
Well, we sent out an email, and you know who the actual school worker is?
Deshante Robinson.
We reached out to Deshante about find out if the baby had vaccinated, which was Dr. We don't know. I don't know if they were.
I hope they not. My baby not supposed to have no medication or anything. I don't do that. They eat natural, and I give them supplements and things like that. I don't give them conventional medicine. I don't do that. My baby not even acting up. She don't even look the same in the face. I know my children. They never been away from me not once. I know my kids. Sorry, sir. Listen. I didn't send you with them, okay? They took you. But I'm going to get you back. You understand me? Do you understand me? Hi, baby. baby. My Evan. Hey, girl. I miss you so much. Oh, my God.
When I was in the they bring me sex take them money, but I don't know.
No, I don't eat. They don't eat. They eat a certain way. Okay. That's why I don't feed them with their feet in them. They should have asked me about my kids. If they were going to take them, they should have asked me what type of food they eat. What are they allergic to or anything. Y'all could have just gave my kids something that could have harmed them by not even knowing. He don't eat no non-organic dairy. They don't drink non-organic milk, and they don't eat non-organic eggs. They never had it, ever in their lives. He's 4, he's been eating that way since he was born. I breastfed him until he was almost 3. And from then, I fed him that way. She has never had anything non-organic in her life.
Oh, baby.
I can't believe this. I can't. Like, they cut my son here.
Hold up.
What did they give you? Did they give you any medicine? They gave you medicine? See what I mean? They gave my son medicine. That's why my baby don't look the same and she's not acting right, because they giving my kids stuff without my permission. My son just said they gave him medicine. Who gave them authority? Nobody contacted me about nothing. Yes, he knows what medicine is. I mean, understand. Y'all don't understand. They do stuff to they don't care about my kids. If y'all did, y'all wouldn't have took them from us. There was no abuse. It wasn't an abuse investigation or nothing. Y'all got us in supervised visits. Y'all took my kids for nothing. Y'all didn't even do an investigation. I love you, Mommy, Heaven, so much. Heaven. Heaven. Hey, baby. You miss your mommy? Shh. They gave my children something, Brian. They not acting. She don't act the same. She not even looking at me. Do you know how she was screaming for me before she left? Oh, my God. My baby is not acting the same. Hey, Mommy, Heaven. Heaven. Baby. Son. You okay? It's like my kids are brainwashed. Do you see how they acting? Son, come here. Baby, what happened? Huh? What they do to you? They put what?
They put stuff on my face.
Stuff like what, son?
Vitamins.
Vitamins. They put stuff on his face. Have y'all been crying? They gave y'all medicine?
Yes.
How often do they give y'all medicine?
They give us medicine last days.
That's why they trying to keep us from our kids. That's exactly why. They've been trying to keep us from our kids since they took them. They kept us from. I've been requesting since the day that they took them to see them. They kept us from our kids. This is the first time we've seen them since they took them. Exact. But what kind of restrictions would he put on us when we haven't been declared to be abusing them or nothing? So what danger were we with to our children? I don't want that lawyer. Them lawyers don't fight for us. They work for them. You gonna appoint me a lawyer? I don't trust none of this. All is a system that works together with one another. They better not have already done it, because it's not that it's supposed to be specified in no court order. That is my rights. That is the law. That is constitution. That is everything. They should have known better. know this. No, it's what's in what court order. The court order can't say to medicate and vaccinate my kids without my consent. They supposed to. I don't care who it is. I don't care what judge it is. They cannot do that. That's my right. I'm a parent. These are my children. They came from me. This is my property. I own these are mine. They came out of my belly. You understand what I'm saying? I have the right to say what and what not to do. They didn't even give me an option. They gave me no option. Like they supposed to at least ask with me first, and then if they not satisfied with what I said, then you take the next step. But y'all didn't call us and y'all gave us no option. My baby must have been crying uncontrollably because they missed us. And they gave my baby something. I know they did. Because she's acting different. That she missed her mommy and daddy. That's no right for y'all to give my baby nothing. She's going to cry. Y'all shouldn't have took her. We love our kids more than ourselves. Y'all shouldn't have took them. Y'all had no right. I cannot believe this. I can't. This is not okay. Like, these people got to be evil. If you have a child, you wouldn't understand not to do this. Heaven. My heaven. Heaven. Mommy talking to you. It's like she don't even know who I am.
Searching to find the truth in my life, waiting for time to pass me by, searching for reasons to live your way. See, one thing I've learned was to trust you with my heart. See, one thing that I've learned was to seek you in my heart. It says seek and you'll find. It says knock and it'll open. So I'm seeking you today. I'm seeking you today. I'm seeking you, searching to know the reason I'm here, willing to go. Out of my fear, Yahuah, be with me as I learn your ways, your ways, your ways. See, one thing I've learned was to trust you with my heart. One thing I've learned was to seek you. I will seek you. I will seek you with my whole heart. It says seek and you'll find. It says knock and it will open. So I'm seeking you today. Yes, I'm seeking you today. I'm seeking you. Oh, Yahuah. I'm ready to become something better